Hey y'all, I wrote an article today for EURA breaking down the Biden-Harris administration announcement for student loan debt. I participated in the White House press calls. I have all the details. You probably already heard the headline. $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness, $20,000 if you qualify for Pell Grant. 70-something% of Black people qualify for Pell Grant, so this disproportionately benefits Black people. Also, income-driven repayment plans have been revised, so now instead of it being a 10% cap on your monthly income, it is now a 5% monthly cap. Also, the non-discretionary income limits have been raised to 225% of the poverty level. If you make $15 or less, which 50% of Black people do, you will qualify for a $0 monthly payment. But everybody benefits from the higher non-discretionary income thresholds, okay? Let's just be clear on that. What bothers me about some of the discussions that I've been seeing is people who make this absurd notion that, number one, this is a slap in the face to Black voters. Number two, this is insignificant. Nobody's going to benefit from it. This does nothing. All those things are objectively false. Let's talk about the Black voters part first. First of all, 70% of Black people do not have student loan debt. 30% of Black people have student loan debt. Of the 30% of the Black people who have student loan debt, the median student loan debt balance is $30,000. I understand that the average is 50-something thousand, but we're talking about 50% or more of the Black population has $30,000 of student loan debt or less. The median student loan debt balance for Black men is $22,000 as opposed to $30,000 for Black women. So this is going to make a big difference for them. 1 in 4 Black borrowers will receive full student loan debt cancellation, and the average Black borrower will receive at least half student loan debt cancellation with the way that this plan has been outlined. The fact that the Pell Grant is being used as an eligibility criteria for you saving double the amount is definitely something that Vice President Kamala Harris had her hand in, because that was a proposal she had back in 2019. She was dragged by it based on people spreading misinformation about her plan. But this is a way that you can be race neutral on its face, but in reality, the impact disproportionately benefits Black people. That's the whole point of it. You cannot get away with racially specific set-asides. That's why the Black farmers relief was blocked, even though it wasn't explicitly for Black people only. There was enough language in there that white farmers are able to successfully sue and block it. So this is a very clever way around it. Shout out to VP for that. The notion this is a slap in the face to Black people is so absurd. Now, I understand that 7% of people have debt of over $100,000. Another 18% have debt of between $40,000 and $100,000. So sure, maybe for you, $10,000 is not a lot. But I do take issue with people suggesting that because they owe more, that this does nothing for anybody else. That's just objectively and quantitatively false and absurd. Okay? So Black people will benefit from a variety of things. Number one, disproportionately being Pell Grant recipients. Number two, from the income-driven repayment plan revisions, which Black people disproportionately have income-driven payment plans. Black people disproportionately accrue more interest on their loan. They owe more than what they originally started out with. And then when you talk about student loan debt forgiveness for people who have balances of $12,000 or less, instead of it being forgiven in 20 years, it'll now be 10 years. Also, revisions to the public service loan forgiveness plan. Okay, so go on ahead and look that up if you're a public servant. It doesn't have to be consecutive payments. They're also now qualifying or taking into account partial payments, late payments, and a few other criteria as well. So there's so much to really appreciate about this bill. Look, if you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not gonna sit up there and jump down your throat and come to you personally and say you need to be grateful, but you should be aware that your specific, if you're one of those people that does not feel like this is enough for you, you should be aware that that puts you in this small minority of people. I'm sorry, but it just does. A majority of people are going to see significant benefits from it. And if racial equity is something that people claim to be concerned about here, then they should certainly be celebrating something like this, where over 500,000 Black borrowers will see their net worth move from negative to positive just from the $10,000 of student loan debt relief. Then you can double that, and boom, there you go. So this is something that's going to be transformative for the Black community. It's targeted towards the Black community. Sure, a lot of people benefit, but for all the talk I've heard about racial equity, I don't think that there could have been a better way of targeting relief towards Black people without just flat out making sure that everybody benefits equally on its face. But we know that equal benefits does not mean equity. So I think this is a great policy. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have student loan debt. I ain't hating on anybody who gets the relief. But for fuck's sake, people, let's not act like nobody's benefiting from it, where millions of people are. Actually, 20 million people are going to get full student loan debt forgiveness. And when you look at the numbers for Black people, they look pretty damn good.